What's going on, MMA fans? I'm back here finally for the UFC 104 predictions. I know I missed the last two. I apologize for that. I've just been so busy with this new job that we've only gotten one day off all month of October. So, when it's times like this, you just have to do what you got to do to keep on going. So I'm finally back. I did get a little bit of time. Sorry for no music or no sweet intro or anything because that takes too long. So anyways, let's get right into it. We just got some great matchups on this card. I can't wait for this card. The first matchup on the main card is going to be Anthony Johnson versus Yuseichi Yoshida. Okay, and with this match that we have going on, you got Johnson. He's a real good wrestler, but the thing about him is that he's so big and so athletic that he's improved his striking so much that you really don't even see his wrestling that much anymore because his striking has gotten so good. Now the difference in this fight is Yoshida going to be able to take Johnson down? Because he does have good wrestling, which means he does have good takedown defense. If Yoshida can take Johnson down, we're going to see how far he's come in his submission defense since he got submitted by Rich Clemente. But I don't think Yoshida's going to be able to take him down. We know Yoshida's stand-up isn't really there, a la the Koscheck fight. So I think Johnson's going to knock him out in similar fashion to the way Koscheck did. Maybe not as brutal, but I think Johnson's going to finish the fight late first, early second. All right, and the second fight of the night is Joe Stevenson versus Spencer Fisher. I really don't like this fight. It's kind of a step down for Joe Stevenson, but he did kind of have those couple losses in a row, so it's good for him to get built back up. He's coming off a fantastic performance against Nate Diaz. That was the best Joe Stevenson I've ever seen. Spencer Fisher, in contrast, he hasn't really looked that good in his last couple fights, and his fight against Cal Uno was just flat out boring. I know he did have to cut a lot of weight for that fight, and that might have taken a lot out of him, but I'm going to go with Stevenson with a decision in this one. The next fight is going to be Gleison Tibau versus Josh Neer. This is going to be a very interesting fight, too. It could go several different ways. Gleison Tibau is very, very strong for a 155er. He's got great submissions, and he's so strong that if he gets a hold of you, he's not letting go of an arm. You're not getting out of it. You're not getting out of a knee bar or anything. Josh Neer, we know the guy's tough as nails. He's good off of his back, but he really needed to kind of got exposed in that Kurt Pellegrino fight, where his takedown defense just was not that good. He wanted to stand and brawl, and he didn't make any adjustments during the fight as far as his takedown defense. So I see that's how this one is going to go. And I think he's good off of his back to stay out of a submission from Tibau, so I'm going to say Tibau in a decision. Now the next one up is going to be Cain Velasquez versus Ben Rothwell. It's the co-main event on the fight. If you're betting on this UFC card, this is the match I would put my money down on. Cain Velasquez, he's a wrestler. You saw in the Czech Congo fight, his stand-up really hasn't come as far as a lot of us thought, and his chin was exposed a little bit, and he's not really that suspect. He's kind of suspect in the chin area because Czech Congo hit him going backwards and knocked him down. And he knocked him down a couple of times, but we all know Czech Congo has no takedown defense, and he's terrible off of his back. So all Velasquez had to do was, like I predicted, would just stay out of trouble, which he does, which all wrestlers do mostly, and grind out the decision, and that's what he did. And he also proved that he doesn't really hit that hard, because he dominated Congo, and Congo didn't even really look that hurt after the fight. Ben Rothwell, on the other hand, he's a big guy. He's the biggest guy that Cain Velasquez has ever fought that is this skilled. A lot of people will say, yeah, but he lost to Arlovsky. Arlovsky's no joke. Just because he got knocked out by Brett Rogers and Fedor doesn't mean he's not good. We just know that Arlovsky doesn't have that great of a chin, so if he gets hit on the button, you know what's going to happen. Okay? And Ben Rothwell, he's been around for a long time. I didn't realize he was only 28. Or he's either 26 or 28. I didn't realize he was that young. So he has tons of experience, and he's got good power. He's very tough, and he does have decent submissions. And the word that is going around is that he's in the best shape of his life, and Ben Rothwell, who's always been a little pudgy, is supposed to be walking around with some ab definition there. So I'm going to go, I guess you could call it an upset. But I'm going to go with Ben Rothwell. I think he's going to knock Cain Velasquez out and make his name in the UFC with that fight. The main event, Machida versus Shogun. Machida is the overwhelming favorite. I know a lot of people don't think Shogun deserved the shot, but there was really no other top heavyweights that were available to fight Machida after Rampage was booked into the Ultimate Fighter. So Shogun was the only top 5 guy that was available. So that was the only fight that was available to Machida. So they took it. They booked it. And, Machida, I'm not going to bet against Machida until somebody exposes him. But I do think that Shogun has the tools to present a very, very difficult match for Machida, especially if Shogun comes in shape. He looked very good against Chuck Liddell. I know everybody's going to say, yeah, but Chuck was done. He was out of the door. But Shogun he looked good. You could see the bounce in his legs. You could see that he was taking his time. He actually had a game plan going in there. He wasn't going in wild. And he's still a very athletic guy and has very dangerous submissions. Now, whether he wants to take Machida down, I have no clue what his game plan is going to be because I don't think anybody knows how to game plan for Machida. But I'm going to say it's going to be a better fight than people are expecting. So I'm going to say Machida in the 4th round or either by decision. Okay? So those are my picks. I'm glad to be back. And you guys let me know what you think. Have a good one.